His car actually isn't racing with us today. He had some engine issues. Diesel Kretz was fourth. Jesse Oliver, Dwayne Garrison, and Cody St. Clair taking that pole position. Great job, Cody. Top 10 in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class: Brian Trimp, Tim Vasses, Ryan Taylor, Buddy Carlton, Justin Barth, Jonathan Terhune, Connor Foltz, Trevor Foltz, Sean Reisky, and sitting in that pole position is Casey Gilbert. So another person that I just said was John Grounds. You've been having one heck of a season. You've raced every single race with us, and you're getting ready to qualify during Power Hour. That's pretty cool, buddy.
It's been a good season for us. I think besides Hammers, one or both of our cars have been on the podium every single race in these regionals. So it's been a great season for us here in Ultra 4.
And I just want to give you a huge shout out for the dedication to make every single race. You've worked on that car night and day, and I think it's just you and Bailey Cole that have raced every single race. So good on you two.
We are definitely battling it out, and it's great because Bailey and I, we talk all the time just about car strategy and whatnot, and I just realized that his shop's about an hour and a half from ours in Phoenix.
So you guys, that's pretty cool that you're both fairly close to each other and talking fairly regularly. You debuted your Miller car at King of the Hammers this year. You've been racing 4500 for a long time. How cool is it to finally step up to the 4400 class?
Oh man, it's a whole new world. These guys that I'm racing against, I have looked up to since I was in college, wanting to race Ultra 4, and I would watch Eric Miller, and I would watch, Shannon Campbell and all these guys, and, think, oh, how cool would it be to do that? And, we raced the 45 car for almost probably 7 or 8 years in Ultra 4, and finally being able to build a Miller chassis, ourselves in our shop and be able to race it. It's almost like it's humbling.
Yeah, you brought up Eric Miller. You bought one of his cars. He's going to be next to qualify. Give us a rundown on Eric. He's won King of the Hammers twice, I believe. It's awesome.
Eric's kind of like my man crush. I ain't gonna lie.
Apparently builds a pretty good car.
Apparently builds a pretty good car, minus whatever just happened on that lower control arm on the screen. But these cars are phenomenal. We've gone back and forth when we were building ours with Eric, and fine tuning and adjusting, and adjusting to our settings or my team settings on our car, and he's helped us every step of the way with it. And they're just built to take whatever abuse that we put it through. It's insane. And
you've got the 6-inch extension on the rear of your car, correct?
We do. We went with the 119 stretch. It's a lot more stable in the desert. Baja, obviously, was great for that. The desert lap, and King of Hammers just being more stable. Even in Montana, where we just took second place in the North Series, that wheelbase is critical when you're trying to go for a podium and speed.
So speaking of Montana, give us a quick little rundown on that. How cool of a race was that?
Montana was great. Wide open ranch fields. The course itself was 50-mile loops, and the plains, the ranches, the people. It was spectacular. The nights were cool. The weather was great.
Got a little windy one night.
Ooh, it did get windy. We saw one of the porta potties drop, so we were just hoping nobody was in it. But it got windy, and during race day, the wind stopped, and the dust just stuck.
Yeah, and it was on a 10,000-acre ranch, middle Montana, absolutely gorgeous. The Big Sky 200 lived up to its name.
Great venue. We'll definitely be back if Ultra 4 comes back with it. We're excited. Yeah.
So speaking of Miller cars, we're going to do a quick watch on Casey Gilbert's pole-setting run.
All right.
So we'll give you a little pre-run of your course that you have coming up.
Yeah.
And he ran a 122. So here's Casey taking off in that Miller Pro chassis.
He's a phenomenal driver for 4800 with the Miller Motorsports chassis. We watched him a long time. Even KOH qualifying, when he rolled over and still finished with an amazing time.
Yeah, he's always a competitor in the 4800 Brannick Motorsports Legends class. He's bumped up a few times like Cade Rod's doing on this race.
Right.
And I believe it's still Cade Rod in that Legends car with the pole position of a 120 as we watch Casey Gilbert's highlight reel from just about 45 minutes ago.
These Miller cars can just, they're built for this terrain. Between the trees, great steering abilities.
They steer extremely tight. I believe you have the Spider Trek set up too. And what is the turning radius on those?
So the turning radius we have is over 55 degrees.
That's awesome.
The 10-inch ram and the trophy truck steering pump that Eric's finessed over the years for the steering setup on these cars is phenomenal. The quick steer and being able to pitch the car wherever you want it to go is incredible.
So I watched you pre-running here right at this exact spot earlier, and you struggled a little bit. What are you going to change on your qualifying run?
We did struggle here at this spot, and you can see Casey taking that inner line, and we took the outer. It wasn't until we found the line to where we got up, and once we found the line, we went back through it again and did it in a whole shot. So we're going to try to strategize on the far right and hope for the best here.
And I think momentum's key. If you can just kind of keep it rolling and give it kind of a one-shot bounce without being too aggressive, I think that's the way to go.
Yep, I agree, hands down.
So this is Power Hour. These are the top 10 champions for the national points that are here on site. So again, thank you again, John Grounds. Looks like we're going to race time. Good luck out there and get to qualifying. Thanks buddy.
Miles.
You want to sit down? So race off through my PCI race radio. Sounds like we have Rusty Blyler off course. So up next will be Eric Miller, number 21, out of Cumberland, Maryland, with Miller Motorsports. And that Mr. Miller Motorsports himself, and that Miller Pro chassis, Jeff Ginter LS7, Turbo 400, Spider Tracks, Nitto Method Race Wheels, Fox, and Impact Seats. He won King of the Hammers 2012 and 2016. He was the national points championship, won the national championship back in 2018. And Eric Miller is on course. He won this race 1 year ago. He's here to defend the title. Can he bump out Cade Rod with that 120? As the way he took off, he's going for the pole position. Pam's back on course with us.
Looks like he's moving right along down.
Looks like our drone tipped over once again, but we'll get it righted as we see Eric Miller coming through in that beautiful Optima battery-wrapped Miller Motorsport chassis. Eric Miller is a Nitto athlete running those Method race wheels. This is the 2021 Method race wheel teardown in Tennessee. As Eric Miller's making great work, he's getting ready to drop down this little rock section. And look at the steering we were talking with John. Absolutely amazing. He's going to take the outer line, back up once. I believe Andrew Shive could be in the shotgun. He does take the left-hand side. These things rock crawl like no other, so it took him a tick extra second to back up, but I think it's going to be worth it.
And I was just out there talking to Chip, and I'm asking him which line he was going to be taking, and he said he'll probably be taking that right line just because of the left line being so tight.
There's Rusty Blyler. We see him off course, that broken trailer arm. So we should see Eric Miller here any second. Is he going to be able to bump out Cade Rod? It's going to be down to the wire.
Oh, no, he came into a number 2 spot at 1:22.8 by 1.
So 2.5 slow.
Wow.
2.5 seconds slower than Cade Rod. So Cade Rod in his Legends car running 40-inch tires, still on the pole. Wow, that is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So Eric Miller is sitting in that second position for now. So Eric Miller is physically sitting in that second position with a 1:22.851. Remember, they will take off in 30-second increments, and this race is on adjusted time tomorrow. We are here at the Adventure Off-Road Park just outside of South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, in the Appalachian Mountain Range. Population is roughly 3,000 people. Elevation is 630 feet. Again, a huge shout out to Benji, Karen, and Eddie, part of the AOP team, for helping us work all week long, getting everything set up.
They're amazing people.
They've been working on course. They've been cooking meals. They've been doing recovery, helping cut trees. They've been mowing.
Make new trails.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. So again, a huge shout out to the whole AOP team. Thank you again for everybody staying tuned in. Ultra4racing.com/live. Get on the King of the Hammers Facebook page. Hit that share button. Start a watch party. We will be kicking off 8 a.m. Central Time tomorrow and have one heck of a race. We'll be racing for darn near 12 hours tomorrow, so be sure to tune in. Here goes number 4, Chip McLaughlin out of Corinth, Texas, part of Rufus Racing. He's in a Tribe 16 2-seat IFS chassis. This is Alex Wacker's old car, running an LS 400, Atlas transfer case, Spider Tracks axles, Vision wheels, BFG, Fox, Corbo seats, sponsored by Eco Earthworks. He started out as Doug Jackson's co-driver, switched to the driver's seat in 2019, finished third in the Eastern points before, and he's finished every King of the Hammers since. His best friend Brad Christensen's riding shotgun. Great to see them. And that Tribe 16 built machine by Adam Shearer and company moving along. He was helping a lot of people spot up this exact section earlier today during pre-running. I hung out there for probably about an hour.
Oh, Chip happens.
See if he can make a smooth run out of here. One quick little bump. And he practices quite a bit. And just made a smooth run. This will be a top 5, I believe.
And that was the right line?
Yeah, that was the right side.
He just told me he was planning on taking that right line.
He was spotting everybody. He had it figured out. So Chip McLaughlin, Chip happens himself.
Next up is Zandy.
This could be. So Chip
number
McLaughlin
2
just
spot.
put out Eric Miller with a 122.487. So Chip McLaughlin will be super, super stoked with that. So great run by Chip. Up next, number 24, Sandy Willems with Nightmare out of Allen, Texas, with Mr. Rufus Racing himself. He's in a Tribe 16 solid action machine. LSX horsepower. Turbo 400. He's the head honcho at Rufus Racing. His first Ultra 4 race was horsepower, fly off road, Holly, Factor 55, Tom Woods. Zandy Willems moving along. Cade Rod still sitting in that pole position with a 120.044 as he takes down this drop.
Oh, fire, fire!
Looks like the Method wheels are still looking good. So Zandy Willems still running strong. This could be a top 10.
All right, that puts Zandy in the number 6 spot at the 129.776. So that's a
He'll
good time.
be super stoked with that. So up next, the 4415, Mr. John Grounds.
As you just heard.
He's got Triple J riding shotgun with him for the whole entire season. He's part of the Fly Off-Road engineering team who helped build the car from the ground up. So Triple J riding in the 4415. So sitting second in national points, that's here on site, Mr. John Grounds, number 4415, out of Phoenix, Arizona, with Proving Grounds Racing. He's in a Miller Pro chassis. He debuted at King of the Hammers this year. CBM horsepower, fly off-road, Holly, Factor 55, Tom Woods, Spider Tracks, PRP, Fox, BFG, Dirty Life wheels, and Motive Gear. He started racing in the 4500 class and just recently moved into this Miller Pro chassis. He's the director of engineering at Fly Off Road, and he is racing the entire season. So the top 2 in national points, John Grounds and Bailey Cole. Huge shout out to these 2 individuals. They were 1 and 2 in in Montana just a couple weeks ago.
They've both definitely been doing their homework at each track too, as well, to keep these top spots in the national points.
Yeah, just huge dedication out of these 2 individuals, John Grounds and Bailey Cole.
Dedication, hard work. I mean, look at all these races they're doing. How many how much time and effort that they have to put into each car, each race to get them prepped. Emily says, go John and Triple J. We shall know their time here shortly.
Emily's rooting on. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a lot of love all over the world, and we appreciate every single one of you.
He's doing good right now. His time is really good.
This is right where he struggled. We just had a great chat with him. We'll see if he can back up. And like I said, momentum. It's just that happy medium. We'll see if he can bounce through. I think that's going to work.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit of horsepower. John Grounds makes a pretty smooth run.
Now, right there, when you saw him going up, the tree that's to the left, is that the one you were talking about?
Yep.
Okay, if you pop it up wrong, then...
That tree's been biting a lot of people. But 44-15, John Grounds with Proving Grounds Racing. Triple J riding shotgun. He's going to have a great run.
Here he comes.
John Grounds gets
7 spots. Number
seventh
7.
position, so great job. Up next, last but certainly not least, Mr. Bailey Cole out of Temecula, California, fresh off his win at the Big Sky 200, part of Rock Royalty Racing, in a top-shelf Trent Fab 2C IFS chassis with Brent Irwin riding shotgun, CBM LSX, Nitto, Spider Tracks, Atlas, Maxim Trans, Yukon, four-wheel parts. He started racing at the age of 15 in 2013 in the stock class. He was the national championship in Legends 2017 and 19. He won his class 7F in Baja 2019. He was King of Britain in 2017, won that race. His first Ultra 4 win was the Big Sky 200.
We have Mr. Cade Rod over here in our audience watching to see if he keeps this spot.
So Bailey Cole's patiently awaiting. We just saw John Grounds with his great run. So number 13, part of Rock Royalty Racing, Bailey Cole. He's our top competitor in Power Hour. So number 13, Bailey Cole, all over the throttle. This will be a very interesting race. He's fresh off his win at the Big Sky 200. Bailey Cole with Rock Royalty Racing in that top shelf Trent Fab 2C IFS chassis. Brent Irwin in the right seat calling the shots. Brent Irwin's racing 3 classes, riding with Jody Ford and Jonathan Terhune. And now riding with Bailey Cole. He was super excited when he got that call, and it looks like he may have came to a stop. Trying to get some eyes on him.
You should see him coming out to the left over here.
We should have seen him already. Not quite sure what happened. Sounds like he's out. Not quite sure what happened. So tough break from Bailey Cole. There you get a visual of him at a complete stop. Remember, this race is on adjusted time. They take off in 30-second increments, so even if he has to take a rear start, he still has a chance at winning this race. So JT, our international race director, is having a chat with him. Looks like he's looking at the rear of the car. JT's giving a quick look around. There's Christy sitting in Billy, our Can-Am defender that we've used all weekend long to set up this course. Great shot of those Nitto tires, four-wheel parts, Yukon, VP Racing Fuel. So not sure what happened, but tough break. It looks like Bailey Cole will be taking a rear start. It's still unofficial, but I have our pole setter, Mr. Cade Rod. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, we're doing good, you know. With the after the run, we did the double backup on the climb, and I was kind of upset about that because I didn't think it was going to stick, but we're stoked. It's the first time I've ever raced 44 in one of my own